Hi everyone and welcome back for day 7 of our 7-day drawing challenge. Today we're going to be in Krita and we're going to do a full figure sketch, and if we have time, a cell shaded render. This is what we're going to end up with today. If you stick with me to the end, I'm going to be using some reference from day 2 of our drawing challenge. Follow the link in the corner if you want to follow that video. I'm going to paste my reference in. Hold down shift to keep so you don't skew the proportions, and then I'm going to mirror horizontally because I think this is the guy we're going to be drawing today. Okay, so I'm going to use, if you haven't used Krita before, this is the default layout. I'm going to use a sketch brush. I'm going to be using the medium charcoal, and I'm going to grab a dark red because I really like the feel of it. It feels like a colored pencil. And let's get started. To go full screen, okay, we're going to be drawing a creature. Hit B for brush. Select your medium charcoal. And we're just kind of sketch out the basic shapes of our character. I have a button on my stylus set to the eraser tool so I can erase without having to use any hotkeys. You can see it flashing right there. It's just a way to save time. I love hotkeys, but I don't like having to go all over the place. If I'm just sketching, I like to just be able to do it from the pen and my tablet. Okay, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to start sketching out my character. I'm just going to do a stick figure to kind of get started here. And I'm just thinking of basic shapes, sphere, egg shape. For the head here, it's going to be an egg-ish shape. Some basic forms. It's going to be a little messy to start. We're going to do our final pass with an inking brush. Let me put my line on the ground here so I know where his feet are going to be. Try to make sure you always ground your character, and putting that X on the ground is a good way to show the feet positioning, where the feet touch the ground, so your character doesn't look like he's floating in the air. Try to get my center line in there. Again, thinking about cylinders. Throw his hand in there. Get this head shape a little better. I'm not really loving that. Grab the lasso tool here. I'm not sure what the hotkey is for that. Control T. I want him to have that longer neck that he had in the reference here. Deselect. Control Shift A to deselect. Hold down Control to color pick off the canvas. I was using deep carmine for my sketch. Let's draw the collarbone here. Give him his long neck. Make sure you're having fun too. We don't have to be super serious about this. We're just practicing. We're just drawing. I'm trying to do the best I can here in the amount of time we have. But, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. You just try to fix them. And I'm just keeping it real sketchy and messy here to get started. He's kind of a skinny guy. Some wrapping lines to understand the form here. Give him just a couple of toes. Try to make sure my perspective is lined up here. Let me fix this. I want to change his shoulders a little bit. It's okay to be messy. You'll find the drawing inside the chaos. We're just going to do our best here. And the fact that we're trying to draw and be proud of ourselves that we're drawing. Hit T to move the layer. Control T, I'm going to size it down a little bit. Hold down Shift to keep the constraint of proportion. Okay, enter. B again for brush. I'm going to change this to a 2-finger hand. Again, I'm just hitting my hotkey on the stylus because I like to do it like that. It saves time. If you want to switch the eraser to your stylus, hit the I on your... Well, I'm using a Wacom tablet, so it may be different for your particular device. But just go into the settings. Usually you can change that pretty easily. But on the Wacom, I, pen properties, go to your pen, go to your program. Krita is what I'm using. And I've got the second button for a keystroke of the E for eraser. So I went into it and I said keyboard, keystroke. I hit E. I named it eraser. I said OK. So that's how that works. And now back to our regular program. Here we go. Let's try to finish working this guy out. Maybe make it a little sharper here. Okay, let me work on this guy's face a little bit here. I don't want to lose the feel of the original sketch. Don't feel... It's erase. It's okay. It's all okay. You can erase. You can mess up. That's how you learn. I'm going to draw a sphere for the eye here. That a little cleaner. It's okay if it's messy. We're going to do it. We're going to do our ink pen draw over, so it'll be fine. Okay, let's try that again. Give him the bottom of his chin. Some kind of wrinkle lines for his neck. I'm going to knock some of this back just by using the eraser there. There we go. Okay. Toggle back to the charcoal pen tool that I'm using. Okay. Let's finish his arm. Let's give him a little bit of a tricep here. Drawing his delt. I have my reference off to the side in Pure Ref if I get stuck. It's always a good thing to have on hand. I've got some animals and some figure poses and some anatomy. I don't like how far his mouth's sticking out. There, that looks good. Okay. Made his neck a little shorter. I really want him to have a longer neck. So let's shrink this down. Control T. Shrink. Hold down Shift. Shrink him down. Enter. I'm going to grab the lasso tool again. Grab the head. Control T. Hold down Shift. If you want to make it smaller or bigger, I'm going to put it right here. There we go. Enter. To accept that. B for brush, and Control Shift A to take selection off. There we go. Yeah, that feels better. That's what I wanted. Now he looks a little closer to our reference. Okay. And again, this was just a rough part of the drawing. We're going to use the ink pen to draw over this, and I think we're going to start with that right now. All right. So now we're going to grab our ink pen. So we go over here, we grab our ink brush preset menu. I like this. I think it's pen number 4, ink pen 4, ink 4 pen rough. So we're going to use that to do our final line. I'm going to take our layer here, and I'll label it rough drawing so I don't get confused. And take the opacity down. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now we're ready to go. Let's make a new layer. Don't forget to make a new layer. We don't want to draw over that. Make a new layer. We're gonna grab black, and let's get started on the final line for this guy. You can zoom in as close as you want. Throw a couple strokes in to kind of get the feel for the brush. I'm going to start with his eye. For the longer strokes, I'm throwing it from my elbow, not my wrist. Just kind of following the outline. And some little marks here and there, trying to capture everything from the original. Put his ear in here. Little dots, little ticks and things for some detail. Some lines for those wrinkles in his neck that he had. Get his shoulder in. Just following the lines. Following my rough example, my rough drawing. Just trying to follow the shape, add a few little accent lines in here. But I'm not going to get super detailed. This is more of like a cel-shaded cartoon character. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just do the best you can do. So let's redraw the eye here. B for brush, eraser, hit my eraser tool on my, to make his eye bigger. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, cool. Let's add some tick marks here. Some little more contour lines. Just add some little ticks for some detail. Be afraid to go back and fix whatever you don't like. It's okay. Okay, we're getting there. Just a little bit more. He's just got 2 toes, put the ball of his foot. Okay, his feet aren't perfect, but that's okay. We're just practicing. I want you to know it's okay if it's not perfect. We're learning. We're still learning. This is just for us again. Just practice some character designs. And if you have the time, get some extra reference to help fill in the areas, the knowledge gaps. Try to make it closer to the same size as the other one. And I struggle through this hand for a few minutes. I'm going to speed it up to get to where it's more finished. But this is the point where I should go get some reference to finish it up. But yeah, get reference. If you need reference, get reference. Never feel bad about that. I definitely need reference here, and I didn't get it. And that's why I'm struggling with it for so long. Okay, fix this again. Just having some trouble here with the hand. I should be looking at my reference. Okay. Okay, that'll do. Clean it up a little bit. Try to make this line a little cleaner. There we go. Okay. So, I think this guy, let's turn off our rough drawing layer. See how he looks. Just struggling with this hand. That's going to happen sometimes. I'm still learning too. Okay, I'm going to put some little details in and just finish it up, and we'll get on to the coloring stage. For whatever reason, I can't get the Magic Wand tool selection to select the outline of my character. No big deal. I'm just going to paint it in real quick. I'm not going to make you watch it. I'm going to speed through it here. So what I'm going to do is make a new layer underneath the ink line drawing, and we're going to color that in real quick. Okay, we've colored it all in. Our silhouette's filled in. And I've made a new group, and I put the silhouette that I just painted in, I put that in the new group. So, okay, what do? We made a group, and then we set the bottom layer is going to be, we're going to clip to the bottom layer. We hit that to inherit the alpha channel, which is the bottom layer. We're going to be clipping from the bottom layer. The bottom layer in the group is the alpha that everything is going to be built upon. Like, it's a clipping mask, basically. It's just a little different in Krita. Make a new layer. And let's start adding some detail to this guy. Let's color him up here. Let's paint his eyes. I'm going to do like an orange on his eyes here. Make sure I tick that. color his eyes in. Okay, I want to change the color of this guy. I colored his eye in on a separate layer, but I want to make this background layer be a different color because I don't like the green. I just picked the green to just color him in. So we're gonna grab a tool here, the adjust, in the filter menu, adjust, and we're gonna go with a HSV adjustment, hue, saturation, and value adjustment. Control U is the hotkey. So, yeah, that blue's kind of cool. Yeah, let's make him a light blue. Okay, and let's see, do you want him to be darker? Lighter. Yeah, I like that. Let's leave him there. Okay, so now we're going to continue to paint over here. Let's add some details. Let's add some pattern to him. Let's make his stomach like a yellow. We're just going to grab a light yellow and let's color in his stomach and throat. Make sure you're on a new layer and tick the alpha lock. I don't think I said this yet, but I'm using an inking brush to paint everything in. You can see it in the corner of the top right. That's the brush I'm using. And I forgot to hit my alpha lock here to the layers below. So we're going to get his stomach in this cream color. Paint that in real quick. I'm going to speed this up. And let's do the palms of his hands too, I think we'll do this color, this cream color. Do this here. So he's got kind of an underside color there. Okay, from this point on, it's just more of the same. I create a new layer. I do another alpha lock. And yeah, add a pattern, add details as far as colors of his claws, things like that. So I'm going to fast forward through this until we get to the shadow layer, which will be a multiply layer. So you can see me changing my mind a few times, just getting it all colored in. Just finishing up, and here we go. Now let's go. Let's do one final layer for our shadow. So I made a new layer. This is going to be my shadow layer. And then I'm going to grab, make sure it's multiply. Multiply, grab this gray, or a gray color. So let's just go in and put our shadows in, make sure we have alpha lock on. The light source is coming from the upper right area. So that's how we set up our shadow layer. I'm just going to paint it all in. Again, I'm going to speed this up until we get to the end. So try to get just the shadow areas here. Doesn't have to be perfect again. And that is about it. So what did we do? Let's take a look. So we started with our sketch. Then we drew over it with our ink. Filled in our silhouette. Colored it how we wanted. Added some accents. And then added our shadow. That's my cell shaded process. This was supposed to be a drawing video, but I thought it'd be fun for the last day to do a little color on our character here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this long. I appreciate your time. It means a lot to me. If you enjoyed the video series, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel a lot and gives me the opportunity to make more videos like this for you guys. So that's it. You did it. The 7-day drawing challenge is complete. You did all 7 days. Congratulations. Give yourself a high five because you did something. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.